As the prophet of esports, I rely on trustworthy and meaningful data every day. Data from our research partner YouGov offers the most complete view of esports fans and gamers in the world, providing context to who they are, what they think, the brands they buy, and things they do. YouGov's connected insights and research services inform strategy at every level. If you're a team, a brand, agency, or rights holder, you should be talking with YouGov. Their partners measure and maximize ROI and are telling compelling stories with data. Visit yougov.com/gaming-esports to learn more. Today, the first day of our brand new lightning round, Jeff's favorite round. We're formalizing this. It's going to be a new part of the show. And so I introduce to you the Business of Esports weekly news show, lightning round. Okay. All that.
Wow.
I know, but pretty fancy, eh? This is not a 2-bit operation here. I should have thrown in one of these at the end, you know? All right. Let's lightning round, guys. The way I'm going to do it, I actually have a timer up here, and I am going to keep you to a minute, okay? The way it's going to work, at the end of a minute, you're going to hear this, which means wrap it up, okay? You're going to hear that.
A minute's too long for the lightning. That's how long we normally talk. It's got to be like 20 seconds max.
Oh, okay.
Lightning round. We got to boom, 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 boom. Minute. I can't even talk for a minute.
Okay. 30.
Make me stressed out.
The juice has requested 30 seconds. We'll do 30 seconds. Okay.
Better.
No, 30 seconds. You got to make a point.
Takes juicings.
30 seconds. All right. And I'm going to call you guys out, okay? First story, let me read the article, and then I'll call you out. You get your 30 seconds, and then you're going to get the buzzer, and then you're done. I will mute you after 30 seconds if we're going to do this for real. All right. First story, ESL Gaming and Qualcomm team up for a $2 million mobile esports league. The Snapdragon Pro Series will have 3 tiers of competition and tournaments in 6 regions. Jimmy, go.
I just wish it was more money, honestly. I'm a Southern California native. Qualcomm is right here in my backyard. You guys know I'm a big believer in mobile esports because it's just such a common place for people to, it's just easy, it's accessible. So I love that ESL is doing this. Love that Qualcomm's getting involved. I just think it should be 5 million.
Lindsay, you're good with time. I'm not going to buzz you. Do I buzz you still if you...
Gotta be.
Yeah, I think you should buzz it at the end no matter what.
Okay, we'll do 20 seconds. How about that?
Okay,
go, Lindsay.
Seconds. Okay, I think this is actually a really good way to start, and I like that it's a small investment. I think that there's still so many unclear business models out there, and especially in the mobile space, I think that there's an opportunity for growth, but we don't know what that looks like yet. So they're getting their feet wet, testing it out, and they're starting up with this, and I'm interested to see where it goes and if they'll eventually wind up putting in more money.
Jeff, go ahead. Right on the money, actually.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I think it's sort of been said. I think mobile esports is huge. Makes sense that kind of the big esports companies are starting to invest in this and institutionalize it. I will use my time to point out Tom's comment. The show's budget has expanded, which I love, but we're still not paying talent, so we got to change that.
Okay, that gets a lot of buzzes. We're just gonna mute Jeff. Yeah, let me just read these. Chris says production value equals real. This is only top of the top production value, Chris. No expense spared here. Tom says, wow, the show budget has exploded. Hardware Barbecue says 2 million mobile game. It's kind of too less, but will they team up with Tencent? I feel that is inevitable considering the share of the mobile gaming market they have, which would kind of suck because Tencent anything is banned in India and mobile gaming market in India is big. Here's my 20-second 2 cents on this. ESL was just bought by the Saudis. And so, first of all, I'm surprised it's not a bigger prize pool. I think it would be great. But I suspect if they're going to bring it anywhere, forget about Tencent, forget about India. I'd love to see this in the Middle East and do something big and splashy around mobile esports there. There you go. All right. Next story, guys. This is Xbox Series X, the most complained about gaming console in the world. I will just show you the rankings. Xbox Series X, this was on Twitter, so scouring tweets. 12.5% of tweets about the console were complaining versus the second place Xbox One, third place Xbox Series X, S, fourth place Sony PlayStation 5, fifth place Nintendo Switch. So top 3 spots, most complained about consoles, are all Xboxes. Thoughts on this? Lindsay, go.
This is funny to me considering how ugly the PS5 is, but I suppose creating a giant cube was not going to win you many points in the creativity department either. I am surprised that Xbox takes the top 3, but I am not surprised that given the difficulty in just obtaining these, that once people actually got them, they might have been a little bit unhappy.
Jeff, thoughts?
All press is good press. This is great for Microsoft. You don't complain about something if you haven't bought it. Xbox is winning the console war. All the acquisitions have been great. This is a win for Xbox. It's mind share. Even if you're complaining about it, it's mind share.
Jimmy?
I've had every Xbox except for this one, though I will say that my Xbox mini fridge that looks like this one also crapped the bed. So I haven't complained about it because it looks very cool, unplugged on my floor over there. Maybe I'll use it to hold controllers or books or something. But I'm all in on PC here, so I don't really care either way.
I'll just say, let me read some of these comments. Actually, it says, Chris says, how fast we forgot about the red ring of death. And Tom says PS4 is only 0.5%. That is amazing. Yeah. Well, I mean, also I don't know what people have to complain about a console that's that old, but Lindsay had a great point, and it was in the article, that a lot of the complaints were about the looks. And I was surprised that so much of the complaints were about the looks. I think Lindsay nailed it. That was insightful.
I was wondering where she was going with that. I guess she was the only one who read the article.
or just had the best insight. All right, guys. Next story here. Facebook gaming appears to be overrun by spam and pirated content. The subheadline here: the most popular gaming creator content is movie clips masquerading as game streams. So this article talks about how, there's a lot of talk about Facebook gaming beating Twitch and YouTube, or gaining ground on those platforms. But the reality of the situation, if you actually go there, is there's pages that are racking up millions of views, hundreds of thousands of interactions, but it's just like it's garbage for the most part. I'm paraphrasing that. It's basically like people copying other streams, playing videos, playing movies, putting up spam content, essentially just to get traffic. What do we think of Facebook gaming's numbers maybe being not so legitimate and struggling to find sort of an identity in the streaming world? Jeff, start with you.
Well, so Facebook gaming is kind of a giant cesspool, and I don't even think it's that interesting. So I'll steer the conversation a different direction. I think this story is about the lack of strong data sources in the industry. In gaming and in esports. And I think we need more people like you, Gov, who bring trusted data and insights. And, I know that sounds like a sponsored piece of content, but I think it's true. We need real data. We've seen this time and time again in the space.
I think that deserves definitely one of these, and you, Gov, will appreciate that.
I was not paid to say that, unfortunately. Like I said, the talent's not paid on this show.
Jimmy, go ahead.
What happened to muting Jeff? That's what I know. I don't think it's a lack of niche or category that's the problem here. I think, caffeine and popcorn, and there were some other streaming services that wanted to be this culture or this type of live streaming kind of platform. And I don't know if that worked out that well for them. It's just not the most surprising thing that Facebook's juicing the numbers, which is clear, was just how I'm reading this, right? Like, how do we stay relevant? How do we show that we're competing in the streaming wars? Let's just have a bunch of fake streams with a bunch of fake content, and damn, that's my time. That's my time.
Lindsay, go ahead. You guys wanted 20 seconds. This is
It works.
I think that you could take gaming out of this headline and it would still read exactly like how I feel about Facebook these days. So I am not surprised at all that this is what's happening. I do still think that there's an opportunity to take some of the market share from Twitch, especially for some of these larger platforms that have overcome the talent or the consumer acquisition barrier. But I also certainly hope that it's real people and not bots.
My quick thoughts on this. Let me read these comments. It says, Michael says, free advertising for you, Gov. At Jeff. There you go. My view on this is
called fake news.
This is fake news. This is, I think every platform, Twitch and YouTube included, have a bunch of spam and pirated content. I feel like this was a little bit of a clickbaity story that doesn't give the whole story. I think the reality is Facebook gaming bigger in Asia than it is in North America, which is why maybe you get some of this kind of these kinds of results or these kinds of data points.